mission is to inspire you to be the best you that you can be. Failure does not exist in a positive mind. Stay optimistic. Greetings and peace be unto you. This is the Inspiration Show, episode 20, How to Pass Any Test. Okay. Now, I'm sure you're like, how can you have the answers to pass any test? I don't. But I got some strategies that may help. And the first thing would be is to breathe. A lot of times when you come to these tests, you're in there nervous, you're panicking already, haven't even looked at the first question, and you're just already messed up. I'm sure just like you, or just like me, you've taken many tests in your life. And you can't get away from a test nowadays. I mean, there's tests that are for jobs, tests in school, everything. I just took a test recently, actually, and it was all fill-ins. Well, mostly fill-ins. Strangely enough, the test wasn't that long. It was maybe about 20 questions, but 10 of them were all fill-ins. I'm not used to that. College, career-based jobs, tests, I've never seen that many fill-ins at one time. And I don't know what the problem was. I think I defeated myself in the beginning because of the fill-ins, seeing the fill-ins, thinking that it just defeated me right out the gate. But I studied. I felt I studied hard. It was for a 4-day course. I studied like about 3 days out of the 4. The very first day I did nothing. I'm not even gonna lie. I just went home and just passed out. I didn't think about the class, and that's a technique too. Indirectly. I wasn't planning on using it as a technique, but that is a technique. To just focus and just close everything out. Or close everything out. That would be your first step right there. Just close everything out, including whatever you learned that day. So you don't want to go in there, you don't want to go home with your mind boggled thinking about this thing. So the best thing for you to do is to just flush all that out. Say you're driving home from wherever you're coming from, or walking on a train, whatever. Flush all that stuff out from that day. Don't even think about it. Don't bombard your mind with all that junk, because it's not going to help you test day. It really won't. I was reading about actually not even reading. I saw this post where this lady said she studied 30 hours. 30 hours, 30. 30 hours for a test. Was that the bar exam? She didn't say that's what it was. So I don't know why you would study 30 hours for any test, including the bar exam. I mean, what do you think you're going to get out of studying 30 hours? You're going to tell me you were responsive for 30 hours? You didn't sleep for 30 hours and you were studying this test. And if that is the case, you're going to tell me you retained that much information in 30 hours of no sleep, sleep deprivation. She didn't mention if she ate or not. She didn't mention that she would wash her behind. But anyways, I think that's too much. Maybe take like an hour, 2 hours tops of focus and put all your energy into studying. And then take a break and go back if you want to go back. Don't spend 30 hours studying anything, please. Oh my God. Please don't do that. That doesn't sound like a good technique at all for anything. So 1 to 2 hours tops at a time. If you want to study longer than this, that's up to you. I don't suggest it. I don't think you should study more than maybe 2 hours a night. Because let's say you study 6 hours that night. How much you going to retain for the next day? You think you're really going to remember everything you looked at that night? studying 6 hours? Nah. And then you're going to be tired the next day because you probably ain't getting a full 8 hours of sleep or more. Some people need more than 8 hours of sleep. I don't know where I stand at yet myself. I still don't know. Sometimes I get 8 hours of sleep and I feel like it's not enough. Like somewhere in between I might have broke up the time. I've had more than 8 hours of sleep and feel like I slept too much. There ain't no real common denominator with sleep. I think it depends on how much you might have did that day or whatever. How much you exerted your body physically and mentally that day is depending upon how much sleep you might need. So you definitely need to sleep. You need to eat something. I'm not saying pig out or starve yourself. You got to eat something. This thing don't work with just water. You got to put something else in there too. So you want to be focused. If you're not allergic to almonds and nuts and stuff like that, it's not going to sound funny, but that's brain food. Walnuts, almonds, things like that, it helps with your alertness and it helps with your focus. And it's also a sort of a appetite depressant. So you won't be so hungry. You won't be forced to pig out if you eat things like that. That can help out too. I already said the focus. I said little snacks you should eat. Need to close some people out. Don't stay on the phone just talking all night long or half the night and then go try to run now and go study after that. Because even if now you done blocked everything out and you're focused now, you're still going to have them thoughts from your conversation. Something's going to come cloud your mind. You need to have your mind absolutely clear. So you ain't got to go through all of that. I know some people probably like, well, I got kids. I'm married. Where can I find somewhere to focus and close everything out? That might be hard. If you live in a house and you got some room you can go in and just be by yourself, tell your kids, listen, mommy, daddy, whatever, has to take care of this real quick. And then I'll spend my time with you right after. That's solved right there. If you live alone, you ain't got no excuse. Just shut everything down. TV off, phone off, or mute, whatever the hell. Turn it off. And you ain't gonna miss nothing. Turn the phone off for a daggone hour or two. I'm trusting there's no important phone call gonna come in that little bit of time. Mention all those cram things. Don't cram. That might work for some people. I've done it. I used to be a crammer. I would waste a whole classes just, not paying attention, sitting there with the pencil, just writing and drawing or whatever like that. And then now test day, here I come, trying to throw everything into one day. Nah, don't do that. That's not a good idea. But if it works for you, by all means, keep doing it. But I don't suggest it. Something I do suggest is something that you may already know. The process of elimination. One of my key weapons. In a multiple choice situation, of course, because in a filling you really can't usually see what the answer is through that question. But multiple choice questions, I love them. You should too. Let me give you an example. The sky is blue, teal, or red. So we know that the sky is blue. We know it could possibly be teal, right? Because that's close to blue. But we know damn sure the sky ain't red. The sky is red, it's over. Something's going on, it's over. So you break the questions down, look for the best answer, and that's what you select. Usually I could tell you 9 out of 10, you're probably going to be right. Unless, I'm not even saying less. What they do is, these tests, yeah, some tests or a lot of tests are not going to be as simple and easy as I just explained right there. But you're going to run into things where they're going to try to confuse you. But if you studied, then it's not going to matter how confusing or how they try to trick you, because you're going to be prepared. And if it's already a multiple choice test, like I said, you don't have to study 10 hours, 30 hours. You get some of that stuff in your head, you start looking at the questions, it's going to come to you. You say, wait a minute. This is what I was reading. The sky is blue. The sky is in teal. And the damn sure ain't red. Boom. No problem. And that's how you approach that. Now that deals with multiple choice tests. Feelings is a little harder. I don't really have a technique on feelings other than, well, there's one little technique I've kind of figured out. This may not work for everything though. If you're reading something and say the question is a 5-part question, maybe feelings. You got the question and you got A through E, I think it is, right? 5 letters, 5 questions, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. If that's the only section that has 5 parts, memorize it like that. Say, okay, this thing has 5 parts. So now you ask me a question with 5 parts. That's probably it. Especially if the question kind of relates to what you're thinking about from that passage you read. Now, if you got 3 or 4 different sets of 5 in that passage, then you kind of messed up. You're going to have to remember all of that. You ain't got no shortcut. But, because actually that's what I ran. That's the problem I ran into. I tried to do that. But just so happened the passage had 3 sets of 5. So I had to remember all 5 of all 3 sets. And it didn't help me. I mean, I passed the test, but I barely passed it. I don't like to barely pass tests. I like to smash tests. So I was still upset, even though I passed. They're like, yo, you passed. I'm like, all right. So if you want to smash the test, then you're gonna have to dig. You got to dig deep and read and retain all that stuff. Can you ask your professor or your teacher what's on the test? I think you can. I think that's legal. Asking them what's on the test. I think you could actually ask them how many questions are on the test. I don't think that's illegal. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that any professor or teacher should tell you anyway what's on the test, as far as how many questions and what the material is, because you want to effectively study for the test and you want to pass. And the professor is not actually against you. The teacher is not actually against you. It's their job to put forth the information, and actually it's also their job to help you along the way. Not cheat now, but help you to prepare to pass the test. They don't really want to see you fail. Why would they want to see you fail? It kind of reflects, even though it's your job and responsibility to go out there and pass the test, it still looks bad on them if the whole class fails. Because it's like, what are you teaching? Are you really, concerned with seeing these students succeed? So they gotta do their part and you gotta do your part. But exhaust all your options. Mr. John, what's on the test? Test is Friday. The test is in 2 weeks. I want to be fully prepared and focused. Is it possible you could tell me what can I do to prepare for the test? Or there's study groups. That's another thing I didn't mention. Study groups are good. Study groups got me through college because I wasn't great with accounting. I count my money. I could do that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I could do all that. But when they start coming to balancing those books, the ledgers, I was lost. And I could say it's good that I had students around me that were definitely way better than me in that particular aspect, and we got together. We formed Voltron and defended the galaxy. We did it. So you want to get with people that are maybe good in that area or better than you in that area. That can even if you don't actually form a study group, just get with the people you know that's tracking. Sit in front of the class. Good measure anywhere. Actually, just stick in your mind front for everything. Front of the class, front of the church, front of the concert. You can't go wrong being in the front. Baseball game, basketball game. Do you want to sit in the back? Do you really want to sit in the back? You been to Madison Square Garden? Do you want to sit way up top in the 200, 300 block and see little small army men running back and forth? Because you can't see nothing from up there unless you got binoculars. Anyways, you want to be in the front. You absorb the most information from the front of the class. I know the nerds are in the front or whatever you want to call it, but you want to get the most you can get out of that class. You want to succeed, sit in the front. I could tell you, I can't even count on one hand how many people I know that sit in the front of any class I've ever been in that failed. They all pass. Not because they bring the teacher apples, because they're retaining information. And it's not a special power or mutated power that they were born with. You can do it too, just as well as I can, or anybody else. You sit in the front, you retain the most information. You don't want to sit in the back of the classroom and get engaged in side conversations, distracted, and then test day comes 2 weeks later, you're like, oh my God. That won't happen if you sit in the front. You ain't got no choice but to focus if you sit in the front of the classroom. Unless you just rude. And then the teacher's gonna tell you, get out of my class. Or sit in the back or whatever. Like, I don't know. But you can't help but focus sitting in the front of the classroom. If you ever notice, the clowns don't want to sit in the front because they want to sit in the back and disrupt everything. So, sit in the front. Sit in the front of the classroom, retain all your information. When it's time to go home and study, focus. Clear everything out. Clear everything off your table. If you have an office in your house or some little area you study, clear everything out of the way. Turn them TVs off. Turn the phones off. Close the window. Unless you need a little bit of air, maybe crack your window about 8 inches. Good. A little bit of breeze come through. But you don't want even no outside noise. None of that stuff. Clear everything out. And give about 2 hours. 2 hours tops per set of your studies. So, for instance, say you come home at 3 o'clock. If you're in regular school, whatever like that. Then from, I want to say as soon as you get home, you want to get settled in. Say from about 4 to about 6. Dedicate everything to studying. Focus. And don't try to retain too much at once. Now, hopefully, your teacher, your professor is going over in class repeatedly the tests and what's going to be on the test. I've had some teachers actually say, tests, this is on the test. Give you a little indication. Also, I'm glad I got this right here. Invest in index cards if you really need that badly. If you that poor at retaining information, write down a little information on an index card. Break stuff up, and then then you got your index card to refer back to read and study instead of going all the way back to the textbook and trying to find the chapters or whatever you're looking for, because that could be a little difficult. But the index cards will save your life. But don't bring them in on the test. Maybe flip them, look at them a little bit the day of, put them bad boys away, because you definitely don't want to get accused of cheating or whatever like that. In no circumstance. No school tests, and definitely not a career test, because you're going for a test for a job, and they catch you cheating, they may ban you from the whole thing. Who know? I don't even know what happened, because I never went down that road. So don't even think about that. So you got the index cards that'll help you out. Use highlighters. Actually, if your textbook belongs to you, you don't have to return it. Even better. As you reading, highlight whatever you think is important. What's going to be on that test. Even on the index cards, highlight the notes. So when you pick it up, catches you when you're looking at it. That's why you need the highlighter. Catches you right away. And you know what to look for. You know what to read and study. You be prepared. But most of all, relax and focus. Those are two most important things I think you need right there. You won't have any problem. Everything will be fine. Is this a guarantee to pass every single test? I would say the ratio is very high. I can't give you an actual number. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there with that. I was going to say like 90 something, but it probably is. If you focus, if you retain all your information, and if you divert from all other activity besides what you're focused on, use index cards, break down the questions when you read them, break them down to the last compound, break it all the way down until you know that answer, not till you think that's the answer, till you know that's the answer. You should have no problem. Wish you all the best of luck.